Good morning everyone from my feather and dog hair dusted bottoms to a hot tent that's now cooking and we have no water supplies and they're all outside to, yes, you guessed it, the midges with no wind. A fate worse than death awaits us. We have a cook in here and it is 10 to 9 and we're stuck. So I'm hoping we can get out there and find somewhere where there's no midges and then do what we have to do, because it's getting horrendous. It's getting too hot in here and we're going to be eaten alive out there. So it's got to be done. So we're going to face it. No other alternative but to face it. Had a good night's sleep. Really nice. That underquilt I chucked in between my top quilt and warmer jacket, and I was nice and toasty. Well, I'm not toasty, but I was warm. I was fine, more than enough. But it was cold. Got up at 12 and got up at 5:30 to feed the dogs. And it was close to freezing out there. Very cold. Even the dogs were shivering when they went out. So, yeah, chilly. Right, I don't want to do this, but I've got to get the tent open anyway, so we get some air. There's some condensation on the doors on this side. It was on this side where I am. Right, let's do this. Oh, I'm gonna dread this. Sit rep. Stella's in the sun, cooking, but she's not getting eaten alive. Not stupid, veteran, you see. These two mongrels, I had to put collars on them because they were being idiots and they were going to run into Stella and hurt her. So, look, see what I mean? See what I mean? Not enough stimulation. This is a Malamar for you. They'll find things to do. Oh, it's contagious. Stella's gone. Go for it now. No. That was a minor flurry. I've got to see how she is. I'd like to. I don't know if you're in focus because I'm looking for a midge net. So, drying things off. Had coffee. Had breakfast. Make sure the tent's dried out. That's a good thing. It really dries quick, this tent. One thing I'd like to point out to people, because they might be still watching this video. Doubt it, but they might be. Lengthwise, not width, length. I'm 5'8", and my head about touches the top here when I'm lying down, and my feet are about touching the bottom. So if someone's longer than me, say 5'10", 6 foot, I don't know how they're gonna. They're not going to have a straight lay. If there's two of them, if there's one, they can lie diagonally. But yeah, that would be a problem because my feet are you've got to take into account, if you've got a sleeping bag or a quilt, that adds an extra inch, doesn't it? At least some of the sleeping bags are even puffier, and that's rubbing against the mesh, and that's what I'm getting on the mesh, a rubbing. And I'm 5'8", so. Yeah, that's something I never thought about until last night when I was lying there. I thought, it's not that long. What's he? Rebel, leave it. I threw some coffee there. Oh, it could be deer. Go, dirty dog, go. I'll be shocking you in a minute with 10,000 volts. Rogue, don't you start. There is a gentle breeze starting to pick up, I think. Okay. See if I can lift my midge net without being eaten. Oh yeah. It normally comes, I know this sounds a really strange thing to say to people, but it normally comes 9:30 in Scotland when it's dead. You know, when you wake up in the mornings, it's just dead. For some reason, it's always 9:30. Well, it's 9:43 now. And so it's about 13 minutes late, and I want to put a complaint in because I got eaten. So the aim of the game today is leave the tent up whilst it's in the shade and there's a breeze so the dogs can go in and get have a rest if they want, but if they're in the shade, they shouldn't want to. That gives me time to do all the kit and get everything right, and then dismantle the tent. And then I'd like to, if conditions allow, if it's not baking hot, not midge ridden, and the wind's not blowing that crazy from one opposite end to the other, I'd like to rig up my tarp, because I don't want to swap the hammock around. I would like to stick it between them two trees. It's perfect, them two trees. And see what that looks like. Feed the dogs lunch. I'll have some lunch, and we'll take a slow toddle towards Victoria Bridge and see if we can find any hiking spot. Between that time of leaving here and getting towards Victoria Bridge, I want to see how Stella is. And if she's looking like she's struggling or she's had enough this week, then we'll go back to the car. I have no problem with that at all. I mean, I'm just so happy that we could get out and do as much as we've done. I know Monday's going to be raining. Today's Saturday. We've been here since Tuesday. We set off on Monday night. So it's been, good old slog. We haven't done long mileages. Again, I've got to protect Stella. But we've had a good fun. And that's what it's all about. Fun and enjoyment. Rebel's now eating a rotten tree. I don't know if you can see him. See what I mean about Malamars need stimulation. Now, if that was in the house, that'd be your slippers or, maybe your carpet or something like that. And people say, oh, bad behaviour from a dog. It's not. He's bored because we're sitting around camp, so he's making his own fun out. But once you get him working, if I'd walked him now 5 miles with a pack on and then brought him back here, he wouldn't be chewing that. He'd be tired. He'd done enough. He'd been working, carrying a pack. So, understand the dogs. They're only finding things to do because they get bored. Look. Here we go, Shoga. Look, he's going to run off with a stick just because he wants her to chase him. See, if you understand your dogs, you understand what to get up to as well. Oh, he's played dead instead. He thought about it, grabbing a stick and running off. They don't realise they're doing this, stirring all the midges up, and they're all coming back. Thank you, dogs. So, if I haven't killed one of these and buried one of these, you should see all three of us setting off late in the afternoon but I want to play around with my hammock and tarp, and as long as the dogs are not getting eaten alive, Stella's out in the sun, but she seems to be fine. I gotta be honest, it wasn't too bad. I've seen it 100 times worse, but it's never fun getting out of a tent knowing that the midges are waiting for you, is it? I can't. Oh God! Don't know why people do these camper vans, because they're missing all the fun. They go up, enjoy the hike or whatever, then run back to a camper van. That's coward's way. Anyway, stay out, enjoy it. And that tent was still slanted when I set it last night. The land lies so weird, doesn't it? Oh, sorry, you're not seeing it. Right, I got jobs to do. I'm rambling. Now I see, oh God, now the playtime is around the rotten wood. See how dogs, look, there he goes. He wanted her to do that in the first time. But she'll know, she'll want to go over and find him. But you see, what she did is she went out and teased him and pulled him away from the rotten wood because she wanted to go back there. But he followed her back and then he took the wood. So she was using a tactic by teasing him and playing with him. Now she's looking for him. She don't know where he is because he's over that little mound. So that's what I'm saying. You've got to know your dogs. I was hoping I was getting you there. When she knows where he is, she'll try and take that log or wood. Oh, she's marking the sea, marking the territory. She's saying, right, this is mine now. Now she goes. He's got the log. He's going to growl. She's going to try and grab it. There's going to be barking. But that's part of the game. And I'm waiting her to do exactly what I said she's going to do. So she'll tease him first. She'll do things to kind of distract him. She wants the piece of wood just because he's got it. Oh, she's being patient at the moment. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, he barked, see, because she was ignoring him. Made a noise to let her know he still got it. She don't want to play. Wow. That's the first. He's doing his best. Look, all these antics are to get her attention. Sorry. No, she didn't see how she didn't come to his attention. Like, he was trying to draw her in. She's ignored him, so he's got bored of his stick. Rebel, what are you doing? Look, he's looking for her now. Look. He'll probably take the stick to her if that don't work. I don't know what they're doing down there. No, he's got bored of it. See? She didn't play along. Now she might sneak behind him and go and get that stick. She's a clever, cunning one, she is. He's so tormentive, isn't he? He's determined to... Uh-oh, here comes Stella. You right, Stella, see what you like? She's been lying there, so she's going to be stiff. Leave them killing each other. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we're pushing how many days we're doing with her, so I don't want to be cruel. I want to take it easy on her. Right, I've got jobs to do. These two will be doing this for about another 2 hours. I was just assessing anything I haven't used, and the only thing out of all my kit that I haven't used is the 3 dog jackets, which, to be honest, I could have put on them last night because it was very chilly. Rogue was shivering, but they uncovered themselves. It's so stupid. That's why I bring the jackets. Normally I put them on, but you know, you're in such a beautiful spot with such high temperatures. To do it at 1 o'clock in the morning, putting jackets on, it's just, I've got to learn to do it, because especially if it's going to be chilly. But there again, it's soon warmed up in the morning, about from 5 o'clock onwards. But yeah, that's the only thing. I've used my camera really well. Used the spade, it's been absolutely a godsend. You know, anyone that says you don't need a spade, I used to use one of these Eastern pegs. They're about 9 inches long. They're great for digging, but that's when it's soft. This ground is like concrete at the moment because of nearly 4 weeks of glorious sunshine. So that shovel, I've been hacking away, and it's been working a treat. 1, to bury their waste when I was near Loch Dochard, and 2, to do my business. So that's been worth it. And it only weighs about a pound, so is it any stress? No. Dog treats, I've given them some of them, so that's good. They've been eating, having them. What I have gone through a lot, obviously due to the hot weather, is them British Army ration flavoured drinks, you know, the powders that you mix with water. It's brilliant, absolutely. I brought a bunch out like that, thinking, I'll never use them, I can choose which one I like. In the end, I was just grabbing any. And I did say on one of the videos, they're all come out pink, but they don't. This is an apple one, and this is coming out like a yucky colour. But it tastes of apple, but it's lovely. Bedding, my clothes, even my shorts. I brought some super lightweight shorts. I used them for a dunk at Glenkinglass. It was brilliant. And hey, I wanted to go in there last night, but it's only about, even at the best, it's only about 6 inches deep. Dave Willis, the guy that came with me and Mike during the hike for Neil, there was a plunge pool up there, and I was so tempted last night just to hike up there and go, but I knew one of all my dogs would follow me, and that included Stella, and I didn't want Stella doing any more walking, so I denied myself some pleasure. Shame, because it really is nice, refreshing and cleans you. Gaiters obviously use. Bladders, I'm one of these people, I don't get the dirty water and then filter it at camp. I go over to the river and I filter it at the river, so I have the bladders filtered. I like my water done and dusted, you know what I mean? I don't want to be messing about when I get a camp. Now we've got a lovely breeze, no panic now. Tent's a good one. Tent's done its wonderful job. I brought a lightweight packable jacket, but I did need it because the night it rained and that flap was loose. I'd not tightened the tent. I had to go out in the rain, and without the jacket I would have got soaked, so I used that. I've even started using my hammock. Brilliant. So I was not carrying, people say you're carrying too much gear, but I was not carrying anything we did not need or did not use. And a lot of this gear is lightweight. Tent's lightweight, my quilts are lightweight, the hammock gear is super lightweight. Rebel! I don't know where he's going, he's hunting. Stove's lightweight. The mug, TSB, I could get a titanium one, but it's not very heavy, to be honest. Shovel's even lightweight. It looks, I know what people are going to say, that looks like solid steel. It isn't. It's a super lightweight aluminium or something. I couldn't tell you what it's made of. What's he doing? He's picked something out. High compose, fold and lightweight. So everything is lightweight. The pack is not, but it has to be strong. And I was looking, I don't know if you can pick up on there. I thought that was dirt. It's not, it's a bruise. See where the scratch? I slung the pack off on the first day, I think it was, when it was fully loaded. And I caught it on my forearm there, the top of my forearm. And the weight of it bruised my forearm. So I'm getting weak and soft, aren't I? But yeah, everything was used. Even the dog bowls, foldable, lightweight. The only thing ain't lightweight is them buggers. And their dog food. Even their beds are not heavy, they're just bulky. That's why I'm glad when most of the food goes, I can actually pack their beds into one of their packs. Solar panel, used it all the time. So I now know what I don't really need. I brought 2 battery packs, you know, to charge. I'm trying to think what the name is, but it's gone off my head. But you can use it to charge all your electrics and all that. I don't need 2, I only need 1. What else was there? There's something else I could cut down on. There's a couple of things. Hey, go. There's a couple of things. I was going to say dog jackets I don't really need. That would be that would take some bulk out. So I have to think about that. So that'd lessen the weight a bit more. Food, I did well. In the past I've brought chocolate out in a tub. 1 tub's bulky and all that, you don't want it. But 2, chocolate just melts. Thank God I didn't bring chocolate. So all I've been doing is eating muesli in the morning with coffee. And I got Alpen muesli, put it in resealable bags, Ziploc bags. But I put some milk powder in and guessed on the milk powder, and it turned out brilliant. So I've been having that and eating it straight out of the Ziploc bag, and then just discarding the bag in the rubbish there. Coffee, as I say, and lunch is normally 2 protein bars. So they don't go mushy, they don't melt or anything like that, and there's no cooking involved because you're normally on the move, you know what I mean? Thing I really will make sure, I've got tons of army ration packs. Thank God I'll be splitting some of that and getting tons of powder sachets of drink for rehydrated. Sorry, I'm watching him. Sorry, Rebel, stop eating whatever you're eating. So that's been brilliant. Anything else? And then evening meal, I've had expedition foods. Last night I had the tikka, what is it? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the curry one anyway. Really hot and spicy, quite nice. And then I had rice pudding, and it was a bit crunchy, but and the child brought sugars. Light, easy to packable, expensive I know, but I tend to look out for bargains when they're going on specials or anything. So next time I won't be bringing, well, I don't know, I might just bring the blackbird hammock, but I won't be bringing tarps or anything like that. I'll just be using that for if I want to have a laze in the hammock. I mean, I don't have to bring it, but it was so enjoyable yesterday afternoon sitting in there, and I want to do some sitting in there today. So yeah, the camera's heavy, obviously. It's an Olympus OMD EM Mark II, which has got a good record of being a good camera for videoing, and that's why I've been using it, not photos. I've been using it for video. I want to see how they come out, and I'm going to do some editing and see how it all comes out. So that's it. Everything I've needed, I've used. As I say, it's hard to kind of split anymore. You know, you're just spending more and more money to try and lighten your load, and you can't do it all the time. As I say, the pack has to be a bit heavier because it's carrying like 60 to 70 pounds now. You know what I mean? Today, I should be carrying back about 55. Which is maybe 53. Counts how much I can push on to them. Which is, for me, is easy manageable. £53, not a problem at all. I don't bring any spare clothing sets, night clothes, which is these, and a blue top, which you've probably seen many a time in videos. It's got a hood you can pull over and keep your head warm. And some socks, bed socks, because my feet tend to be the part that always gets cold. I've been using smidge. I tried it on the dogs yesterday, on their ears, because they were sitting there and they were getting bugged. I don't know if it worked. I'd like to say it did. On me, I'm telling you now, this is something I can't believe. I think suntan cream works on the midges. This is not the first time I've put suntan cream on my arms and the midges ain't come near me. There's something in some suntan creams, I'm not saying all, but some, that is stopping the midges coming to you. I've been using this one. Nivea Protect and Moisture. It's 300 high immediate protection. It's supposed to be good. Travel size one. You can obviously get bigger ones. But this I've been putting on me and it's stopping the midges. It's not the smidge, because half the time I've not put smidge on when I've been on my travels. And yet, even the horse flies and all that don't seem to want to know. So, surprising. Oh, I brought an extra gas canister that I didn't need. I've got to remember not to bring so much gas. You think you're going to be out 7 days. You think you're going to use a lot of gas. You don't use as much as you think. Especially now if I'm only having protein bars for lunch. So that was something. I could get rid of the shovel and just use a peg. When it's soft, yes, but not at the moment when it's hard. And plus it's backup just in case something happens to Stella, poor girl. I can't carry a 98-pound dog all the way back. It's an awful way to go about and talk about things, but you just got to cover all your bases, haven't you? I think I've got someone coming up. I saw someone. Don't know where they are. Right. So that was giving you a rundown, just in case. I know Peter will say, well, you carry far too much gear. Don't forget, I'm out for normally 6-7 days. I plan for 6 or 7 days. But you have to carry it. You have to when you've got dogs. You're carrying so much extra gear. Just in food, dog food, bedding and all that. Right, I've got to look out for this person that's coming out on a bike. So I've had my play. Set my tarp up, been chatting to a few people. It is 1 o'clock, fed the dogs. As I say, I want to enjoy the day. If we're not doing any more hiking, I want to enjoy the day and leave it to later in the day to set off when it's probably the temperature's slightly dipping. So it's not so hot for Stella. So I had to set my tarp up in my hammock. All ready to go. As I say, I've set it up. Anyone who's looking, got a big bolt. Yes, I know I should have shifted the tarp over to here, but this is the first time setting. Also, I'm looking about tweaking this bit, and something I'm not great with knots, so I need some kind of Dutch wear thingy to work around the trees. I could put them out, but wire these out as well. That's fine, but it's something nice to have it cozy. But you don't want it closed completely because you don't want condensation, but you want some wind. So I don't know if that's good enough, because if you're pitching into the wind and rain's coming down, I don't know if it'll get in. It probably would. Again, the hammock's quite a way back, isn't it? Oops. So other people will know and they'll tell me. I'm not happy with that knot. It's the only knot I know, you know what I mean? I'm terrible with knots. But this is the Warbonnet Thunderfly 20D seal poly tarp. I believe it's 20D seal poly. I'm sorry, I got several, so I can't remember which ones are which. Nice bushwhack camo, I believe it's called as well. I know it's camo something. I like it. For me, it'd be brilliant. As I say, this trip, I'd planned to use it on the first night with a ground sheet underneath and have the dogs just sleep in the open underneath, because I had the jackets. That's why I brought jackets and the bedding and with the blankets. But it was worse than this. It was terrible midgy. It was very messy. It seems to have dried out over these last few days. And so I decided to push up with a tent. But I'm glad I did, because the nights were cold. And that first night we had rain, heavy rain. So the dogs probably would have got wet unless they were centered right, dead center. But this is the kind of tarp I'd use for me and the dogs, or 2 dogs in the future. If we're only expecting the odd shower, something like that. Nothing crazy. And it's not in the height or mid season. See, it's about going lighter and lighter and lighter as much as possible, and that's what I'm planning to do. Them two will, Rogue and Rebel, will put up with most things, you know what I mean? And they're quite hardy, but I always think about Stella. Even at her age, you've got to worry about weather, and if she's getting too cold, get wet or anything. There's plenty of space under there. It's just if the rain is slanted. So you know, my hammock's more or less low as I want it. I can't set the tarp much lower because you've got to have some clearance when, you know, you're out of the tarp. Obviously that hammock will sink. You know what I mean? It will sink when you get in it. So you're shielded from the worst of the wind, but you don't want it touching the tarp when you get out, because again, condensation issues. I put elastics. People say elastics work, it takes out the stress on the tarp. Others say it causes too much flexing as such. These ringworms are great, but you've got to really cinch them in tight, otherwise they tend to slip. I've just found that out. Drip lines and all that, this all wouldn't be lying around. I'd tie this around somewhere so I don't get drips, and I'd put drip line on each one of these, both sides, as I say, after shifting the tarp over. The straps would produce hopefully some drip, and the stingers, this is all weather sealed. You don't have to seam seal or anything. It's all done by Warbonnet, but they say the stingers, they drip anyway, act as a drip line anyway, so no problem there. So yeah, I like it. The other thing, I'm using a bag at the moment up here. I haven't got snake skin. I need a one snake skin that just slides along. I've got it on the other 2 tarps, but not on this one. So that's something I've got to get with my pocket money. And as I say, I've got to figure out what to do with this, because I'm not great with knots. And these 2 areas, I've got to concentrate on now. But I like it. Very happy and glad I spent the time doing it. So I've used everything, even though I've not used it as for camping. I've actually had it out and set up and know what needs doing in my mind, and what I can, perfecting what problems, issues and all that. I've got a central ridge line, a full ridge line, I think they call it, solid ridge line, for very windy conditions, but at the moment I use the 2 stingers with 2 lines on either end. So that's it. Warbonnet Thunderfly. Like it. Just breaking the tarp down. Last chores now, and one of them is hiding on a pair of bags. by digging a great big hole somewhere. Yeah, biodegradable, so they'll degrade really well. That looks quite soft there. See if I can dig a hole there. Everywhere else is rock hard. We'll see. But at least no one's going to be treading in anything because I've picked it up. You have to leave the place as you find it, and that includes dog droppings. Soon we're going. Right, it's 2 o'clock, well 10 past 2. I want to set off a bit later, but these are becoming too impatient. So we've left it clean. All the dog droppings are clean. There's no elaster bands, no rubbish, no paper. That's where the tent was here. Happy. I always walk around because just in case. So it blew out, you didn't see it. But no, scatter these. I do this for the water bottle. Oh wait! So it don't blow in the wind if they drink it, you know, and it's empty. It's so light. So I just scatter them. Leave exactly as I found it. As I say, all the droppings are up. Plenty of water crossings and water areas so dogs can get a good dunking. But it's hot. So we're heading back to the car. I've been watching Stella. She's just lying around. She don't want to do anything. She's exhausted. So let's have a look at her. See? Yeah, she's done enough. Right, she'll loosen up as we walk, but the point is she's done enough. I've done enough. Right, that way you two. We're off home. We're off to the car anyway. God knows where I'll be next. I keep saying I won't come back here and end up coming back because it's Stella, but no, I think we'll do something in Cairngorms. There's a lot of tracks there. So it'll be short tracks and short distances for Stella, so I can't do anything crazy. That's if she's still around. Hopefully you are, Stella. Hopefully you are. You've done so well this time. It was brilliant. To be honest, I was putting the tarp out and the dogs were absolutely perfect. You wouldn't even know they were here. Just lying there. I was getting on with the job. They weren't bothering me, weren't moaning. But as soon as they packed everything away, they knew it was time to move on. But we got a wind. We're walking into a nice wind, so that's good. Right, I've got to load up. Pack should be about £53. So easy for me. Not a problem. Good old pack that is, I tell you. I know what Peter's saying. Is he mad? But trust me, when you're used to carrying the heavy weights, you don't mind. It's just when it gets near the 60s and above, you know what I mean? That's when anyone will feel it in this heat. But yeah, I don't mind 53. 53 and down is just easy work for me. But anyway, and that's not bragging, I'm just being honest. That's what I do. Yes, your back will sweat with it, but I think your back will sweat with any pack, to be honest, in this heat. As I say, use nearly everything. Just a dog bed, jacket, sorry. Right, everything's gone, we're going. It's all clean and tidy. Where I was up here, it's all clean and tidy as well. I had a hammock up here, didn't I? No pegs. Great 2 trees that were, brilliant. If they'd been that way, it would have been perfect because the wind was coming from there. But even so, it's just brilliant. It's a nice cool breeze. If it weren't for the midges, I would have had that hammock up from day one and probably wouldn't have left it. It's brilliant setup. But I have to think of the dogs. Right, we're moving on. Goodbye. Loch Dochard again. I don't plan to come back here. I will be back here in the future because I love the area and I want to get on the high areas, but not with Stella. But yeah, no problem. It's not too far as well to get up, travel up. That's why I like it. That's why I was doing it before I ever did any searches. Right, enough rambling. Let's go. Bye bye. I'm going to rest at the hut in the shade because it's been scorching coming up there. She's just been dunked. But look, shutters hanging off again. Give up. I reported it last time, but luckily someone came along. You know, they're going to destroy it, aren't they? Good little hut as well. Construction site. Oh, must be doing some work on it. Shame. It will get ruined. It will look a construction site soon. Shame. We've had many a good time in there. Again, if you wanted to book it, they'll probably say it's full, but every time I walk by it's like that. And they'll say, well, someone might be on the Mun roads, but that shutter was like that when I was coming up on the first day. So it ain't been used in the last 5 days unless someone's just left the shutter like that every day. Rebel, get out. Might be rubbish food being thrown out. Lie down. Lie down. So I have to force them to rest. Luckily Stella doesn't need the forcing. Right, we'll make it back in a minute. Took the pack off, it ain't too bad packet to be honest. Just drank less of the water. So that's in the stomach rather than being carried in a pack. Saw the new, I guess, cattleman or whatever, but he didn't wave or anything, he didn't seem friendly. So went buying a Land Rover with his family. I'll probably chill out in time. Rebel, Stella, Rogue, sorry, I'll get your name right. Up here, up, Rebel, up here. Lie down. How do I get my dogs to rest? They just want to work. Thank God, Stella, I don't have to force you. Right, we'll move on in a minute. So before I go, just like to say thank you for everyone that's watching videos. Thank for all the kind comments. Thank for the new subscribers. I'm not just saying that, I mean it. It's been lie down. I'm sorry, I have to force my dogs to lie down. I think the midgets are getting them, that's why. I'm not just saying that, I do mean it from the heart. I'm not a big channel, I don't aim to be a big channel, so I do appreciate everyone. I try and reply to all comments. To the trolls, thank you very much for sending me comments. I'll just block you, so don't worry about it. I won't get involved with it. Any advice about like the tarp that I set up, because you've got one and you've done it yourself, I'll take on board. That's about it, I think. I'm sorry it didn't last the full 7 days, but I tell you, the temps and Stella, I mean, she's done such a wonder. I mean, I don't want to push her much harder. I end up killing her, you know what I mean? And look, these will not settle down. I have to go. So until the next one, which will probably be in the Cairngorms. I've been saying that a few times, haven't I? The intention's been there. Come on in, slow. Yeah, she's a bit stiff. Since she stopped, she's stiff. She's done enough. Right, we better get her home in one piece. That way. This is where the dogs normally run into the water, but look, you can't get into it. It's just too far away, and whatever's there, so low. So dry. The area's like a tinderbox as well. Lethal. Thank God, rain's coming, they say Monday on my Garmin. And then it says heavy rain from Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, so that's good. Needs it. Before fires start breaking out everywhere. Any bits of glass, anything like that to start a fire off. Let alone stupid hikers or whatever throwing cigarettes down or having a fire at camp, not realising they've got to set off a place to light. Go on in, still have a dunk. You can't really get in there. Well, at least they're getting water. When the feet are getting cold, it cools them down. I know, not deep, is it? Unbelievable. Even the deer cleared off. Earlier there was a breeze and it was beautiful. Now there's no breeze and it's like an oven. God knows where she's been. Go on in, Stella. Sorry. And this is a dunking spot up here. I can't get you in another one. I've been trying to get them in water wherever I can.